You know, we've all been in show business for many, many years. You were a young entertainer, young guy trying to make in show business. What do you think, Rudy, you know, as a young individual, what it took for him to be who he is, his tenacity, like yourself?
Well, you know, when you're not the big guy, you're the little guy. You got a lot more work to do to get there, to get to that position of the big guy. And he worked hard at it. And he still inspires kids today of all ages. Kids in grammar school, kids in high school, college. I'll bet you even in the pros, when somebody sees that movie and knows what Rudy went through in his lifetime to get where he got and to realize his dream, it was something big to overcome, and he did it. That proves anybody can do it. So if a kid's bullied or a kid is shy, he could watch this movie today or 20 years ago and know there's hope for him, and he's going to do it. I'm going to succeed no matter what it takes.
That's very good. Let me ask you, when you watched the movie, did you cry?
Oh my God, like a baby. I cry, uncontrollable, really. It is, because it's everybody's dream to succeed. Everybody, unless you don't want to. But when you have that desire to succeed, that movie gives you everything. You know, you want to walk out of the theater and go, okay, I want to be president. You know, and that's how Obama got elected.
You know, I got to say, if it was me, you, and Rudy were together, we'd have one thing in common. We could look each other straight in the eye.
Straight in the eye. I got him by an inch. I'm 5'7". He's only 5'6".
Your dreams.
I am 5'7".
Me too.
Yes, we are, especially with my pumps on.
Thank you.
All right, Tony.
Tell Joey I said hello.
I will.
Now, who is this? Hi, Marin. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Have you seen the movie Rudy?
I have seen the movie Rudy, but it was 20 years ago, so I'm excited for a refresher.
And how has the movie inspired your thinking as a performer?
Well, I think it's the classic underdog story, and you have to, you know, no matter what anyone says, you got to go for your dreams and you got to do it. And I do remember bawling like a baby when I saw it, so I'm worried I'm going to ruin my makeup this time around, but.
I was going to ask you, how many times did you cry in the movie?
Well, I'm a really good audience member. I feel everything, and I do cry a lot, but I'm going to try not to, but it's just a wonderful message. It's a great movie. I'm so happy that they're doing this to celebrate.
Have you met Rudy personally as of yet?
Rudy?
Yes.
Or the actual Rudy? Or
yes.
I have not.
And you will tonight.
I know, I'm really excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Gavin, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
Okay, I know the movie came out 20 years ago.
Yes, I was a big fan though growing up. Before football, we used to watch it. Our coach made us watch it.
And how has it inspired you as a performer, or just in general life?
Just to never give up. Just keep going. If you have goals, just keep going for it.
So when you watched the movie, how many times did you cry?
I shed a few tears, once or twice.
So how you doing over there as a Chippendale?
It's good. It's a nice experience. It's different change of pace.
Was that a dream for you?
Wasn't a dream, but it's a great job. Yeah.
How did you become a Chippendale?
It kind of just stumbled upon it. One day, just was out here and I just saw my calling.
I mean, somebody would say, "Look, you got a great body. You want to dance." I mean, have you ever danced like that in front of people before?
No, never. Maybe once or twice back in middle school for a talent show. We did something similar.
The experience as a performer, how is it upstage doing that sort of thing?
Boosts my confidence a lot, and you got to act professional, and it's a job. So we do everything with 110%.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good. We're going to go see New York for the Veterans Day Parade again in a couple weeks. And then the kids are going to sing at Disneyland right before Christmas. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm waiting. part's all good. I mean, I think Helen would be happy with, how it progressed.
Every year now, since I got so many Christmas shows for the whole month of December, I do the Christmas shows. And last year, of course, I put Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nope. Thank you very much.
One more. Good smile, huh?
Got it already?
my name is Tony Sacco.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I have teased
Yeah.
28 years here in Las
Yeah.
Vegas. And now I'm
I
doing.
knew the name. I didn't know what you looked like. So.
And I got this new show now, the Las Vegas Rocks Variety Show,
Okay.
which is a live, just like a Jimmy Kimmel, stuff like that. And
Okay.
I'd love to. I was going to invite you on some other time because I did see you. You did a fabulous job at Frank Marino's.
Oh, at the roast.
You were unbelievable.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to do. It really was. I mean, I did a lot of prep for it, and I mean, I know Frank fairly well, so it wasn't difficult, you know, to be able to make fun of him. So, and the others too. So.
Yeah, and I never met you. I've been in town 32 years. I never met you. But how long have you been in town now?
I've been performing 6.5 years at the V Theater.
Oh, wow.
And but I've been in town 10.5 years.
And where'd you come from?
Canada, Alberta, Canada.
Wow.
So I'm a little Canadian kid. Yeah.
I had an opportunity because I'm a singer. I toured Canada, Hamilton, Thunder Bay, Regina.
Thunder Bay, you made it when you go to Thunder Bay, right?
They booked me wintertime up there.
Yeah. Oh man, that's nasty.
It was great.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to tour across coast to coast, quite a number of times, and it's a beautiful country to travel, not just to be from, but to travel.
Yeah.
But I'm more Edmonton, Calgary. That's kind of more I'm based.
Yeah, and so you like Vegas, I'm sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All of our children were born here. My wife's Canadian as well, but we came here, so we've been here. We're making a life here, and this is home. I don't think of home anywhere else.
Yeah. So we're here for Rudy. I don't know if you ever met Rudy personally.
I'm going to tell you something that might shock you.
Go ahead.
I've never met Rudy, and I've never seen the film. I have no idea what the story is about. I've wanted to see the film. I've heard about it, and when they called me and said, "Hey, you want to walk the carpet?" I'm like, the first thing I said, "Well, I haven't seen the film." And I'm like, this is what an opportune time to come and get the entire experience and see it from fresh eyes. I know nothing about it.
Wow.
But I'm excited.
Well, let me ask you, as a young man in Canada, what were your aspirations?
Well, I think that every Canadian wants to be an NHL hockey player, but then once you realize you're not good enough for that, you got to look for dog sledding or ice fishing or something. No, I think that coming from, my family's not a performing family. I mean, my dad's a structural steel welder, so, and my mom helped with the family business. They wanted me to get into the family business, but as you can see, no calluses. I'm not a very hard worker with that. So performing was something that always inspired me, but I think being a Canadian kid, the towns were all so far apart that it forced you to play the same audiences, so you had to really aspire to be creative and to think outside the box. When everyone was going one direction, you wanted to go the other direction. And I think that that's really where I came from, a small town community of 2,500 people, that it forced me to aspire to be different.
And I was going to ask you where you developed your wit. We were very impressed how fast you think on your feet.
Oh, thanks. I have a very wife that's very, very funny as well, and she keeps me on my toes. And I got 4 daughters, the newborn, and the 3 older ones are 9, 7, and 5. And they're hilarious. Most of my life experiences that I make fun of come from them. I can't believe how funny they actually are. And I think that after being 20 years hypnotizing people, I interact with hypnotized people on stage every single night and try to turn comedy from nothing. And I have to banter with them. And everybody's response, if I were to hypnotize you to play a certain role, you would play it different than, let's say, the cameraman would. And you'd play it different than what your spouse would. So everyone has a different response. So I never get a canned response. I have to be able to hit the ball back. So I think 6 nights a week, dealing with people from all different parts of the world that participate and share their personalities, I have to be on my toes to expect the unexpected, and I think that it's just a skill that's developed over time.
And how long does it take to hypnotize someone?
I could have hypnotized you already, and you might not know it.
I am hypnotized already. I like you.
It only takes a fraction of a second, much like falling asleep, but it's the process that takes a little time. So, anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes, but it's like same thing with falling asleep. You're awake, and 1 second later you're sleeping, but it's that process that takes a few minutes.
That's great. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mark.
Nice to meet you as well. I look forward to reconnecting again sometime.
I'm going to give you my card. Maybe you can give me...
Hey guys, everyone to the left. Right, hold on. You guys want to chat
My
with you
name
guys?
is... How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. So we're here for Rudy and what Rudy represents. Any of you guys see the movie?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, of course.
And let me, did any of you cry?
Absolutely.
Many, many times.
I'm pretty sure I did. Especially at the slow clap.
Rudy,
Rudy. Yes.
Yeah, that was the mantra that we all said when we watched it. So as performers, how did it affect you guys when you were watching it? And at the time you were seeing the movie, you guys were probably very young. So did you think that you were going to be a performer when you were watching the movie, and how did it inspire you? Let me start with you.
Well, it inspired us all to just not give up, keep pursuing your dreams. He didn't think he was going to, be the star football player, and he kept on pushing, and there he was. And so it's the same thing with us in our career. You just got to keep on going.
He did it kind of against all odds, and in the acting industry, the entertainment industry, it's kind of against all odds. There's so many people, it's really difficult. It's a long road ahead of you, so it's a really inspiring movie.
As difficult it was for him to make the team and then make the movie, do you feel it was that difficult for you guys being entertainers?
I think, yeah, I mean, you, like Brendan said, you can't give up, and you just have to keep going for it. And as nervous as you might be, you just got to keep going, because eventually you'll get there.
So that's your message to our viewing audience from you guys, saying your experiences, keep the dream going. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of sweat and tears, not so much blood for us. Maybe for him.
Well, you're not from New York.
I'm from Jersey. But
I'm from Philly.
I'm from South Philly.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Our whole family's from there.
12th and Wolf.
Yeah, I went to Temple University.
My grandma lived on Ellsworth.
I got 3 girls. from Temple University running my house. It's 12th and Wolf because my mom died. So I own the house now. So I got 3 girls from Temple. But I went to South Philly.
Do you know any of the Mortalitis?
Yes.
Do you know Georgie Mortaliti?
I know the Mortalitis.
It's my uncle. I'm Justin Mortaliti.
And where's he from in South Philly?
South Philly. My dad, they grew up in Ellsworth. The whole Mortaliti clan, there's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad went to Newman, my aunts went to Goretti. They're all
They're probably my age because I went to South Philly. I graduated in '69.
Okay.
My dad went there. I don't know what year he graduated though.
I had a big act when I was younger called the Sackett Twins. So they might know me because I
What's
worked
your name?
Tony Sacca.
Tony Sacca.
But we had the Sackett Twins. I worked Wildwood, New Jersey for 10 years as an entertainer in Wildwood, New Jersey at the Lucky Club.
That's where we went every summer for vacation.
Yeah.
Wildwood.
Yeah. Wildwood's my
So
kid.
funny.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got my show. I got to have you guys on my show. My variety show is live at the Boulder Station. This is my other show. I got 2 shows. I've been on the air 28 years here in
I've
Vegas.
seen your show before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to call your producer, get you on my other show. Okay?
Yeah, that's great.
It's so nice to meet you.
South Philly, okay?
Thanks a lot.
That's awesome, man.
Okay, guys.
So nice to meet you.
All right.
Nice to meet
Hey,
This is Mark and Carrie.
Mark, how you doing? Tony Saka.
Tony, nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
I'm Carrie. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Carrie.
you.
We're here for a wonderful cause. Rudy, 28 years, inspiration.
crazy.
First of all, you've seen the movie over the years?
I own it. I still cry every time I watch it. It's probably one of the best sports films all time.
That's one of my questions is, when did you cry and how many times you cried in the movie?
When and where. The hallway scene, when they're carrying him off. But my favorite scene is when all of the players walk into the coach's office, take off their jerseys, and say that you can start Rudy in my place, coach. Because that's what it's all about. Even with us at work, you know, we share the stage every night with 19 cast members, and we're all
Team
family.
effort,
It's a big
yeah.
family. So, you know, I can relate. I was a hockey player in Canada growing up, and, you know, guys in a locker room, and you do anything for that guy sitting beside you, and it's an awesome, awesome film.
Wait, let me see if you still have your teeth.
My dad's a dentist. He's standing over there. He keeps them clean for me.
Fix the teeth,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Hockey players. So, can you relate to you being a performer, him working hard to become the football player, and then make the movie? So how do you think it's influenced you or your thinking as an entertainer?
Well, you can't ever give up, especially in the entertainment business. You know, it's a roller coaster all the time, and you got to just keep fighting for what you want and pushing forward and working hard. And I think, you know, that's what the movie's about too. He's never giving up.
It's family too. You know, you bond with those guys in the locker room. We bond with our cast members every day, and we do anything for anyone. So, you know, these guys went to bat for him, and they got him on the field the last play of his last game, and it's incredible. I think to this day, he's the only Notre Dame player to ever be carried off the field, right? I think.
And his jersey being retired. Yeah.
It's amazing. I was at the Fox Studios just the other day, and I got to meet him. And as soon as I saw him, I said, "You're Rudy, aren't you?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, I own your film, and your story is an inspiration to everybody." And my dad was with me, who's 75 this year, and you know, everybody knew that story, and it's amazing that they made it into a movie. It was deserving to be turned into a film, and like I said before, I think it's the best sports film ever.
Thank you, guys.
Celebrating the anniversary now. That's beautiful.
Thanks for
Thank you so
having
much.
me.
I don't know why I thought.
Ricardo Laguna.
Look, what is he from?
It's a BMX rider professionally and television personality.
BMX is a motorcycle?
No, BMX, little kid ones. I pedal the bikes, so I don't have an engine. I got my Chevrolet legs to get all the momentum.
That's what BM.
Does bicycle motocross.
Oh.
So.
And you flip up and down and.
Yeah, and do all these crazy tricks, and somehow, some way, make it look like I never did anything. But I got a couple bumps and bruises, broken nose, stitches. But they say the chicks love scars.
Are you a Las Vegan?
I was born in Mexico, but I've been here in Las Vegas since I was 13. I'm 31, so I think I'm a local.
¿Tú hablas español?
Es mi primer idioma.
Okay, so look, we're talking about Rudy, the movie.
Yes, which I'm going to give you a little fun fact.
Go ahead.
It was in 90 when, it might have been 98, 99. It was the first movie that I really watched without subtitles. Because in 97 is when I was learning English. So this movie actually progressed to Spanglish, so bear with me, you can't understand me.
Wow.
So
how many times did you cry in the movie?
You know, I'm pretty thick-skinned. One tear almost came out, but I didn't quite give in.
So how has it influenced your thinking as a performer or just pursuing a dream in life?
You know, to me, especially I can relate, not because I was little, I'm actually the tall guy, but being the Hispanic kid, that I'm doing something that is not traditional for my culture, and I never gave up. People laughed at me. My parents said, "You should play baseball. What are you doing in an American sport when you're Hispanic? You should be playing baseball or soccer." And I defeated all those and made it a career. So I kind of relate to the whole Rudy story.
That's great. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, as well.
Tony Saka.
Placer.
We talked about
I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back to you.
I'm an entertainer in this town for 32 years on the street of TV show. I'm an entertainer. I've been buddies for 20 years.
You got to meet Kenny Hawk, too.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm so excited that this is all happening. I'm so excited Rudy and I have been friends for 20 years.
Good man.
Every time I get depressed, I call him.
Tony's wonderful.
Yeah. I'm going to interview Sean.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
Sean.
And then we want to
Sean.
do the high school. Straight ahead, guys. Straight ahead.
I like to get a picture with him myself, too. You know what? I'm going to set my camera up. It's going to be difficult for me to take a picture. Sean, over here. Over here. You know, you and Rudy, you guys are starting to look alike, Rudy.
I'm a little older.
He's skinnier now. Look at him. He's losing all this weight.
No, he looks handsome.
Unbelievable.
Look at his skin and things
My
like
wife
that.
won't let him eat. It's sad.
Well,
this is unbelievable.
Well, Sean runs marathons now.
Yeah, I ran just last Sunday. I ran the Chicago Marathon, and that was my third this year. LA, San Francisco, Chicago.
But John, let me ask you.
Rudy only ran about 15 feet to make that sack, so I'm just trying to distinguish myself.
Let me tell you, if Rudy wanted to run it, he'd run it.
Yeah, he would. That's exactly right.
Nothing stops Rudy. We know that.
No.
20 years now.
Have you met his wife?
Oh, of course. Kids.
Cheryl? No, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to understand the Rudy ethos, you got to meet his wife, Cheryl, who put on this event, man. She's like as Rudy as either one of us have ever been.
Very aggressive, I know, but she's passive aggressive. You know, she's got that real soft way about her, but then she gets what she wants all the time.
Yeah, she
we know
does.
that about Cheryl.
Right, that's right. Very emotional. I would say passionate.
Passionate.
From my point of view, she's focused.
Focused.
The woman
yeah.
is focused.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of event, you know, when you try and harness stuff like, you know, the good feeling about a movie from 20 years ago and figure out how can you make it useful to people. Well, Rudy's got his foundation that helps these kids and that are, you know, at risk. And it takes Cheryl. Without Cheryl, as great as Rudy is, as great as I was in the movie, it doesn't mean anything. It takes somebody who's going to literally physically connect every dot and cross every T. So when I come to this event, it's great to see my alter ego, who my brother from another mother that will always be linked forever. But I always think of Cheryl when I come to this event because of what she does.
Well, when Rudy meets people, he's got to be putting up with, "You're not Rudy. You're not Rudy." He gets that all the time. He's not Rudy. Sean
I always
Austin's
get I'm not a hobbit, but you know, Rudy. Well, he's the real Rudy.
I know.
Will the real Rudy please step out?
Kids actually get mad when I show up.
I know.
They want to meet Rudy.
Right.
And they get mad. You're too old. You're not Rudy. You know.
Yeah, and they want to know for me what it was like, you know, playing for Notre Dame. I'm like, well, it was a movie, you know.
Sean, could you imagine 20 years would have passed and this night would have been here today?
You mean before we did it?
Right.
No way. Never could have. I knew that what we were doing was important because of the message of the movie, because it was about hard work and determination and believing in yourself, and those ideas are critical at any time and age. And I knew Notre Dame was huge, but I don't think that my brain would have projected itself 20 years down the road and a couple old timers now we are.
It actually took a life of its own, Tony. The message of the movie. They actually show the movie in high school classes. I give speeches. I have kids who saw it in high school 10 years ago hire me for jobs now. That's how it impacted these kids. And it's funny because you impact professional athletes with this movie. I've never told you about Kobe Bryant, how he was
I talked to him. He told me about meeting you, yeah.
He was so... When he was in Italy, Tony, he was down and he put the Rudy movie in and it just told him he's got to keep working, keep in preparation. And that's that chip. It's a good chip. It's not a bad chip.
You know, if I had to compare this movie, I would compare it to one most significant movie that changed.
Gandhi.
No.
Oh.
No. I don't know if everybody said this.
Tell me.
The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
When you think about The Wizard of Oz,
Well, the color palette, actually, if you think of it from a cinematic standpoint, the gold, the yellow brick road, you got the Notre Dame's got that. Well, think of it. Notre Dame is mythological in terms of Catholics and people who love Notre Dame University. There is this magical place, and that's what Oz is. Oz is this.
The
It's all-
dream.
Yeah.
Your heart, your courage.
but now even
Yeah.
that it's made, motion picture history, I think Rudy and The Wizard of Oz are going to stand side by side until we're dead.
Listen, it's like saying, hey, the Mona Lisa and my drawing when I was a kid, they did great. I mean, Wizard of Oz for me is it's a very great compliment. So thank you. Yeah, I think for us, I don't know, we're always in Sports Illustrated or ESPN or those things are talking about, oh, great sports movies and whatever. Just the fact that anybody watches it and gets something out of it, and I've had countless people come up to me and tell me that it changed their life, and it's a little weird to think that something you do, it has a continuing emotional effect on people over time. So I'm very grateful, and if you're right, if it's in that pantheon, man, that's a pretty great thing.
One last question. Did you hang out with Rudy before you did the movie? Because I know Rudy personally too, and to know him is to love him. So did you get to know him before you did?
Here's
Rudy?
what happened with me and Rudy. I was like, Rudy, I want to work out with the Notre Dame football players. He went and made it happen. I'm like, Rudy, I need to have this exercise bicycle in my house. He made it happen. Rudy, I need whatever I said. I should have asked for $1 million. I didn't even think about it at the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me just take a framed picture with you guys.
Okay, great job.
You know what? There's one other experience at Rudy that I'm thinking of.
Go ahead.
When you took me to the grotto.
Yeah.
A very special place on the campus of Notre Dame where the candles are, and it's a place for reflection and prayer, and he took me down there, and I remember thinking, here's a guy who's hustling, he's moving, he's trying to get the football equipment, he's trying to get this person and put out that fire and all that. He was a major force in the physical production of the movie. He just wasn't a guy that it was based on, right. And yet we took a moment, and I think it's always good for people when you're involved in something that has something special, something of value to it, to take a moment, acknowledge it, make sure that you understand and appreciate it, and then go spaz out on the rest of our life.
I know there's a lot of people want to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to hog up all the time. I love you dearly.
I know, buddy. Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
What's not to like about you?
I know your dad real well.
You do?
Oh, Michael, we know each other long time, right?
He's here somewhere.
I know. It's down for 32 years. I'm Rudy. I've been friends for 20 years. And I'm so glad to meet you.
It's good to meet you too, man. It's good to meet you too. You saw him. I gotta see him.
I know your father very well.
Yay, there you are.
Michael.
My dad's family is from South Carolina. Yeah.
Every time people would watch the news outside, I always I grew up in the ghetto in South Philly, Pittsburgh.
How are you?
That's Rudy. You know Cheryl, right?
All right, folks, everyone to the left here. Everyone eyes here real quick. One more time, eyes here, right here. And then next to him real quick.
Sure. Yes. First of all, it's always exciting for me to talk to someone when someone like you has a vowel in the name. My name is Sac Pizzo. Writing the screenplay 20 years ago, I'm trying to imagine where your head was as a writer and as the producer, but where was your head as a writer, knowing that it would be what it is today? And I talked to Sean and Rudy, and I said, I'm comparing this movie to, actually, seriously, The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
When you think about it,
That's
the
amazing.
longevity of The Wizard of Oz and what The Wizard of Oz represented, and you watch it over and over and over again. Now we're watching Rudy over, and it's for me, and Rudy's a buddy of mine for 20 years. So I'm thinking Wizard of Oz, so now you're the screenwriter.
That's amazing. I don't think any screenwriter writing any screenplay hopes for anything other than trying to get the movie made and watched during a cycle that never is very long. I don't think anybody has makes the assumption that there will be a longevity, that there'll be a staying power for any film that they do, because most films come and go. I mean, 98% of most films come and go. So the fact that this has lasted and sustained as long as it has been amazing. And we had no idea, we had no plan, and it's just magic. It's just, it was a magical combination of the right combinations of people.
So, are you as a young man growing up, your dreams, aspirations, how does it,
How did it connect to this film?
Yeah.
Well, it connected to this film in the way that when I said I wanted to be a filmmaker and go to Los Angeles and get in the film business, people made fun of me and doubted me in the same kind of way that they doubted Rudy trying to get into Notre Dame. That's how I related to it.
Yeah. That's great. Well, it's a pleasure. Are you still living in Los Angeles?
I moved to Indiana, actually, about 8 years ago to raise my 2 young boys. So, but I'm working more than ever.
Are you in Los Angeles quite often, or are you still?
I do. I go there about once every 2 months for meetings and various business situations. Yeah.
Because I just recently, I've been in Vegas 32 years, but my wife has a bakery called Normandy Bakery in Los Angeles. So
Really?
We're
Yeah.
living at Mount Olympus.